Biden, not only are you the worst president in the history of our country, you don't deserve to hold the title of president. From now on, I think that everybody should address you as Mr. Biden. But what is your legacy going to be? I'll tell you exactly what it's going to be. You will first off be remembered as the guy who didn't make the cut in 2016. It would have made sense for you to run for president in 2016 because you were coming off of being Obama's VP. You didn't make the cut in 2016 because Hillary Clinton at that time was a stronger candidate than you. Then you reemerge in 2020 and claim the presidency and become the absolute worst president that our country has ever seen. Out of all the people who have been president, going back to George Washington, you take the cake for the worst, the most incompetent, the most foolish president, and the absolute worst administration that this nation has ever seen. Full of liars. Like to know how you sleep at night. How is it that you are in the White House and able to sleep every single night knowing that the actions of your idiotic administration has led to the unaliving of another American citizen? How does it feel knowing that the policies you created and that your administration enforced has caused so much pain and disruption amongst the lives of American citizens? Citizens that you are supposed to be in office to protect. The American citizens that you are supposed to be working for, but you are working against. How does it feel knowing that on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day, somebody is going to have to be without their family member, their loved one, their good friend this year and every year to follow because of you?
She should calm down. I understand the frustrations in people's mind. I saw this video at a certain point, watching to this level, I was impressed to actually see that people understand what is going on. I don't even know if Biden is president again. Are you hearing anything about Biden again? No. Now, what Trump has done within the few weeks, without even being the president, we have all seen how a lot of things are adjusting, changing. Hmm. Taking a look at this lady, we have seen what has or what is going on, especially what recently took place in New York. Her frustration tells you everything you need to know. At a certain point, I don't even want to talk about Biden again because I see them to be irrelevant now. Putting more energies is we will not even do anything. If they could not do something for the past 3 years, I don't believe doing this now will benefit you. We should focus on the positive things that are going to happen. Watching John Stewart the other day,
Hilarious. And it's interesting to watch, and it's maybe good drama, unless, God forbid, you've got a family member who's a hostage somewhere and is counting on help from the U.S. government to save his or her life. And you're starting to worry if maybe Jared's roommate wasn't the best point person to head that up for the U.S. government. Maybe there's somebody more qualified. I mean, it's hilarious unless you've got a loved one, trapped overseas in some sort of problem in an important foreign country who needs help from the U.S. embassy in that country. And it turns out Don Jr.'s girlfriend with no diplomatic experience is the ambassador there. I mean, it all could be very interesting drama.
should we even reply this lady? The energy they are putting now to criticize Trump, they didn't put that with Biden. We saw how American citizens were trapped in different parts of the world with the people Biden selected. They still did nothing. So struggling to put more energy to criticize Trump, they could have done that the 3 years Biden has been in office.
Robert Kennedy says ultra processed foods are killing Americans. And I'm like, yeah,
That's right.
god awful. That's got to change. But if you were to say that, boy, are you just dogpiled. How can you agree with Robert Kennedy Jr. on anything? He's this and that. And Elon Musk says we've got waste and inefficiency in the government. And we're like, yeah, we've been yelling about that for years. And as soon as you do that, how dare you It's really interesting.
John, that is exactly what the challenge is. I'm holding a hearing as of today and for the next month. I am chairman of the Health Education Labor Committee. You know what I'm holding a hearing on tomorrow? To demand to know why the commissioner of the FDA has not, in fact, at least gone forward with strong labels to warn the American people about the nature of the food that they are eating, which is leading to obesity, which is leading to diabetes. We have been absolutely irresponsible. Kennedy is right. That's exactly what we are trying to figure out right now.
Because they've identified, look, the system that we're currently operating in, Senator, is you've got food companies that have scientists that are working to design foods to get past the chemicals in your brain that tell you to stop eating, to get past those defenses, which creates diabetes and obesity. And then you have the pharmaceutical companies who come in and say, well, here's Ozempic and here's Mounjaro. And now we're caught in this bananas cycle where these corporations are just profiting off of our incredibly poor health outcomes.
Right. All right. And that's exactly the issue we're talking about. Now, we have talked to scientists, to your point, who are saying that the food that they are advertising massively on TV, which is another issue, is addictive. It is, I want more and more of that crap. And it stays with me my whole life, which is why we're seeing an epidemic in childhood obesity. 20% of the kids now, 40% of adults. We're spending $400 billion a year on diabetes-related illnesses. How's that? 1/10 of the healthcare budget. Has the government acted in any way with the urgency that is needed? Of course it has not. So Kennedy is right on that issue. But your point, how we deal with that, plus, the crazy stuff that he's saying is exactly what I'm trying to figure out.
So how do we get the government to be more, look, democracy is clearly kind of an analog system.
Yes, what I've observed so far, Bernie Sanders is picking up, and I think this is the only person that I've seen that is really standing up and supporting some things RFK is putting out amongst all Democrats. He's the only person I have, excuse me, looking at John Stewart calling out RFK. This is not the first clip. I have watched videos upon clips where he losing in. What usually triggered me with these people is the fact that Biden picked up people that are incompetent, that could not even do anything. They did nothing. Because it is Trump, you will see them agitating, doing all this. I said on one of my videos, Democrat will always be Democrat. They will struggle at every moment to always cause chaos, especially when Trump is involved. If it's a different person, you will see the tone will be different. I understand why that is happening. Sometimes we just have to observe. You saw what happened with Elon Musk the other day, how even till today they are still ranting about it.
Donald Trump is Jesus in reverse. Other people die for his sins. Are you ready or not? I've been to states where the Republican ads, they don't even mention policy. It's just a guy with a gun.
He just remember him hugging Nixon and
a guy who crossed lines politically. Ooh, the worst thing you could ever do, be friends with a Republican?
Yes, thank you guys for always been there sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. We are moving into 2025. I will continue to update you on videos you don't see around here, and I will struggle to modify the way the studio is and reduce this echo. A lot of people still complain in 2025. And if you still have any problem, please drop on the comment section. Let me see so we can adjust. As of the videos you see behind this clip, please don't care about that. That is for the algorithm. You can end here. You don't even need to proceed to the end because you will see that frequent on my videos.
I believe does create problems.
I don't want to overstate it. I think it's a kind of treason.
Trump isn't one to let bygones be bygones.
The thing that disturbs me is not just that.
And a theory that a lot of people seem to be
coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
I'd never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway,
Hey there. You're not doing great.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
The election.
Well, if I look at the big picture, it could happen.
And I've known, which is every president, who's been really red.
The ICE officers across the country. The news is right. Maybe they're surveying drone, maybe